We're blessed that a jury, within 2 hours and 28 minutes after hearing testimony for about 3 weeks, quickly, swiftly returned a justified verdict on behalf of a 6-year-old child who was victimized by Officer Royce Ruby. This is a great day. This is a great statement on behalf of many who have been victimized by police officers, too many in our community. This is a great day.
Are you surprised with how quick they came back with a verdict?
I am. I cannot deny it. I must, if I said otherwise, I'd be telling you an untruth. And I've heard enough of those in the courtroom. So we are pleased, though, that the jury saw that this was, quite frankly, not that difficult a case when you consider the actual facts. And we had a strong team that presented a strong presentation over the 3 weeks of what the evidence was, and the jury got it. They saw it, they understood it, and they made swift, quick work of it.
What message do you hope this sends to members in law enforcement?
That they cannot abuse the citizens. That they cannot. Look, they've been given a great right, a right to be police officers. No one requires them to take the job. But when you do it, you have to follow the Constitution. You cannot use excessive force, you cannot abuse the citizens, and you cannot abuse the babies.
Mr. Cunningham, would you like to say anything about what this means for Kodi's future to have this security for him?
For Kodi, it means a lot. Now he's going to be able to do things and get the help that he really needs. It's a sad situation and what happened, and I'm very happy that the jury came back and saw and realized what was going on in that courtroom wasn't right, and what happened on August 1st wasn't right either.
I'm sure, obviously, it's a great win and whatnot, but one thing that you said earlier in this trial that really stuck out is you said Kodi is a shell of his former self, and knowing that that may never change, the emotions about that for yourself.
It's hard, and I had to take that day by day and just try to at least get him back a little back to who he was before this happened.
Thank y'all.
Thank you. Thank you all. All right.
Jay?
We're ecstatic. This was a long journey to justice, a lot of hard work, a lot of sleepless nights, phone calls 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning like it was 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. The jury did their work. They came up with a verdict that they believed was fair. They came up with an award that they felt was just. And we don't have anything else to ask. This brings about tremendous closure to this family. Everyone here is filled with emotion. Korryn is smiling today. Posthumously, she got her day in court. And as these flags wave, the great state of Maryland, the great county of Baltimore, we too are filled with pride that 6 individuals from various and diverse backgrounds were able to come to a decision that would make our clients whole. And for that, we are truly, truly grateful.
Mr. Gordon, in this case, the officer was cleared. He wasn't charged. In fact, he was promoted, cleared of wrongdoing. But obviously, the jury thought very differently about this. How do you reconcile that?
I think that Schellenberger made a bad decision by declining to prosecute this man. This man is a sick, misogynistic, evil person. You have to be an evil person to shoot a woman in her back, wait 30 seconds for her to be drowning in her own blood. The bullet not only goes through her back, punctures both lungs, through her spine. And then as she's drowning in her own blood, her son is right behind her. He storms up upon her, aims his gun in a downward slope, and then empties 3 more rounds into her body. That's as sick as you could get. I mean, that is sick, it's sadistic, it's misogynistic, it is just pure evil. And I'm glad the jury saw through all the lies that were told, through all the decisions of the state's attorney, and not be in any way swayed by that, but were willing to listen to all the facts and the evidence as they had promised at the outset and come up with a decision that was fair and just, and they did that. I hope that Schellenberger is now second-guessing his decision. I have no degree of faith that he would reconsider it, but if there's someone who's intending to run against Schellenberger, please give me a call and we'll provide you with the information on Officer Royce Ruby. He was no hero on that day. Royce Ruby was nobody's hero. He wasn't a hero to his comrades or fellow officers. He wasn't a hero to the community. He was a coward. Royce Ruby was a coward to shoot this single mother of 2 children who had mental illness, who was having a mental illness breakdown, and think that everything is fine, and then accuse her of firing her weapon in their direction when he knows that there's no gunshot residue on Korryn Gaines' arms or hands. He knows that the shell casings that they claim were found under her body should have been nowhere near her body if you consider the position that he alleged she fired from. When he knows that there were no shotgun pellets recovered from this case. He knows that there were 3 defects in the wall that appeared to be from a shotgun, but they only alleged that she fired 2 rounds. And the list goes on and on. He knows that in order for her to be pointing her weapon at him, he would have to see more than merely her braids in the barrel of the gun. He would have to see her hands. He would have to see at least some portion of her body, or at least her head. Royce Ruby was aiming his weapon at Korryn Gaines' head, but not just her head, the back of her head. His intent was to kill Korryn Gaines when he couldn't even see her. She was behind a wall, and he shot his round from outside of her apartment into her apartment through drywall to strike her as she's in the kitchen fixing her son a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. That is sick. He's a very, very sick man.
Are there any changes you'd like to see specifically? And if so, what are they?
Like anybody else, we want to see constitutional policing. That's all we want. As Americans, as citizens of this great state of Maryland, as citizens and residents of this great county of Baltimore, we just want constitutional policing, and that shouldn't be asking too much. We're demanding it because we have a right to it. And weed out all the bad officers. Royce Ruby, even though he's no longer with the tactical unit, I think we all know by now this was his 2nd kill. This was his 2nd kill. And so he's done enough damage, he's caused enough pain in this county. And it's time for him to go.